So guys, what's going on? So Keith Thurman basically called out Errol Spence, saying that Errol Spence called him a fake. Errol Spence called Keith Thurman a fake. And Keith Thurman basically said, listen, he goes, when Floyd Mayweather did exactly the same thing to me at the time, he didn't fight me. Errol Spence was a young kid coming up, and Keith Thurman was looking for those big fights. Errol Spence was like a fight to him, which he felt, why he doesn't really need that fight. He's going for belts. And Keith Thurman explained when Sean Porter was world champion, he wanted to fight Sean Porter, but Sean Porter's dad said, there's no need to fight Keith Thurman yet. When Keith Thurman gets a belt, then we'll fight him. And he goes, obviously Sean Porter went on to lose to Kell Brook. And I think Keith Thurman's spot on. Keith Thurman now, he goes, Errol Spence is in the position of power. And he goes, I understand what position Errol Spence is in because I was in that position. So Errol Spence is looking at it and thinking, I don't need to fight Keith Thurman. Why do I need to fight Keith Thurman? He's got no belt. There's no need of fighting him. Why should I give him an opportunity? But Keith Thurman's spot on where he goes, there's not that many big fish in the welterweight division anymore. Who are you going to fight? Porter, you already beat him. Danny Garcia, me, Crawford, Pacquiao. These are the guys that really you've got to fight. So if you can't get a fight with Crawford, you can't get a fight with Pacquiao, a fight with me is easy to make. I do believe Keith Thurman wants that fight with Errol Spence now, and I do think it makes a lot of sense for Keith Thurman now, because I think Keith Thurman's in the stage of his career where he needs big fights to be motivated, and it's all or nothing now for Keith Thurman. He needs big fights. He doesn't need these little small fights anymore. That's not going to motivate a Thurman. Thurman needs big fights. He needs big money fights to get him out of bed, because Thurman must have made good money. He made good money in the Garcia fight. Porter fight must have paid him well. The Pacquiao fight definitely paid him well. You know, so Keith Thurman needs those big fights to get him motivated. And I personally feel that a fight with him and Errol Spence is a fight that, you know, the welterweight division would love and the fans would love. Because the welterweight division, like I said, although there are decent fighters in the welterweight, there's quite a few, but really there's not that many relevant names. The relevant names are the names that I mentioned. Crawford, Pacquiao, Thurman, and probably Spence. Yeah, there's Porter, Garcia. Yeah, they're relevant, but I don't feel when I feel Thurman can still do something in this division. I don't think he's what he was, and I think he got injured and he keeps getting injured, and that's really hampered him. But I did think that Thurman at one point could have even beaten Spence and Crawford, but I don't know whether he can now. Just because I don't know whether Thurman's got that confidence. I'm going to make a separate video because Thurman said in a video that he feels he can go on to dominate the division again. Now, I don't know whether Thurman's got that confidence anymore. I hope he has. I hope he has, because I think Thurman's somebody that I really like. Thurman's somebody that he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and he's a fiery character. When he was young, I really thought he was an exceptional talent. I really did. I thought Thurman was exceptional. But of late, I'm not sure whether Thurman has that same hunger, that same desire he once had. I hope he can find it. I hope he can get it again. But sometimes it's hard. When you lose it, it's hard to get it back. It's hard to get it back. You know, you end up doing things in fights that you wouldn't have done when you were a lot younger, when you were a lot more hungrier. Is Keith Thurman hungry still? I don't know. We can only tell when he fights at the top level again. We saw against Pacquiao, he put in a great performance, but at the end of the day, when you're fighting Pacquiao now, if you're saying you're a top welterweight, if Spence was to lose to Manny Pacquiao, you're losing to a legend, yes, but you're losing to a 41-year-old at the end of the day. So that, if you're saying you're the best and you're saying you're a top talent, you shouldn't be losing to a 41-year-old, irrespective of how good he is. So that does not bode well for Thurman, but I do think Thurman can do something. If he can find that hunger, find that desire, I reckon Thurman can do something in the welterweight division. I do believe he can. But has he got the hunger? Has he got the desire? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.